and roll, and I guess we're starting.
All right. Welcome to KooKs, Joe.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here. I guess, we can finally start talking about stuff that is pertinent.
So, hey, first I want to know what you're doing lately. I mean, you've been cooking for how many years?
Oh, my gosh. We were just talking about that over 30 years now, give or take. Just over 30 years. Trying to pretend like I know what I'm doing. But, yeah, it's been a while. I think this business has changed since then. It's kind of a little more structured nowadays in the sense of verbiage, I guess. But,
kind of human resources taking over and turned it into a living hell.
It is what it is nowadays. Everybody's got to watch their verbiage and new pronouns that are coming out and everything like this.
You really got to watch that in the kitchen?
Oh my gosh, you have to.
What the fuck would we have done when we were learning to cook? That's crazy.
Actually, it would have never happened. Actually, if nowadays old chefs, there literally, it kind of sucks, but you hear this all the time. There is no place for that in the kitchen anymore. It's wrong because the attitude is there. It's just a matter of how you say that stuff. What's the word I'm looking for? Your vocabulary, your pitch, your sale. These people, my mom called it the 70s all over again. Everybody's very, oh my gosh, my feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
Really? Wow, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah, I know a mutual friend of ours that, it's funny we were talking about, I don't want to mention her on the podcast, but she texts me to warn me about a cop coming by to check out my restaurant, and I text her back about, what I thought about it, and she immediately texts me back offended. And all of a sudden, it was all about her, and she was the victim. And I mean, it's like I'm just getting over that personally. Yeah. I'm like, I just can't deal with that right now.
Well,
usually I just cook something that.
It's cool you feel like that. You just don't have to say it all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Remember that back in the day, your mom always told you, man, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Sit over there and wow, you hear this all the time, but it's funny how nowadays everybody identifies politically now, and it's just like give me a break,
I identify as independent. I think that's what every American should identify as.
I identify as a human being on this planet that was put here to just do what I have to do to get through this fucking life.
Male or female?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, last time I checked, this billy goat beard that I'm wearing and these things between my legs, yeah, that puts me as a man. Yeah, I'm so sorry, but hey, yo, I'm not worried about the pronouns that you call me. It's just funny how, damn, you got me on here. I'm going to ramble. You know that, right?
Do it. That's cool. Why you're here.
Because it's funny how we have to worry about these pronouns nowadays. Wow, I didn't write that down on my list to talk about, but pronouns. I'll tell you what. I'm fine with people saying who they are and how they identify. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'll even listen to you tell me. But don't expect me to accept you for who you are, okay? I have the right to go, oh, okay, you can say you're a woman, but you have this beard on you that's longer than me. You have something between your legs that is bigger than mine. I apologize. You came in this life as a man. I apologize, but we're all going out as men, or we're all going out as women. Why be afraid of what, or why be ashamed of who you were and how you started? It's not who you are. It's always where you came from, correct? It's where you started.
Well, to be honest, I mean, to me, it's like, whatever makes you happy in this world.
Oh my gosh,
it's so short, and I don't really mind. But I had a friend of mine who frequented my restaurant, and he was a lesbian last year.
Gotcha.
And he transitioned this year, and Rule. The guy who helps me out, called him a guy.
And he got offended?
I did. I said, no, that's my friend. That's definitely a girl. That's a lesbian. And then come to find out, I was completely wrong. And then, even hanging out with him, and it took me a good 3 months to call him.
Right.
Because I'm used to her, and I didn't even realize how hard it was. Because I just kind of took pronouns for granted, but it was really mentally difficult to do that.
You know what we have to do? Okay, not only do we have to have tolerance towards the other people, they have to be able to be a little more tolerant towards us because we're ignorant in the situation. Not that we're ignorant, we're naive in the situation because we're learning new things, and so they can't get mad at us when we address them with the wrong pronoun up front,
which is something I pointed out to him. And
that's something we got to learn, and we got to deprogram and reprogram as a society, as human beings. So give us the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And
it's the people fighting for tolerance need to be tolerant.
Imagine that. And that's the funny part nowadays. Is that's the only thing. I had a friend.
Which he is. I mean, he's cool. I mean, I've made quite a few mistakes, and he didn't blow up. Yeah,
I like when they laugh at you, and they find it very naivete. They find it like a little child.
But see, now he's on testosterone, so I'm kind of helping him out. Like,
see, my brother is dating. I shouldn't say this out loud, but my brother's dating this lady. Her daughter is doing the same thing. Excuse me. Her son. Yes, I apologize. But her has done the transition and everything like that. It was a hard sell for her mom. Her mom's still swallowing it, but it's something that my brother's helping her through. My brother, believe it or not, my brother's very. He was very open-minded to it. He couldn't have been more. He made me smile and go, "Wow, thanks, Todd. I needed that." That makes me look at things in a different light, and it's just we all got to grow together, and if we grow together, I think as a whole, we can survive.
He seems really happy with the transition and has enjoyed it. So why wouldn't I? The only thing that concerns me, and we've talked about it briefly, but not a lot. But the suicide rate is so high.
It's because they're not being accepted. You know what it is? I don't think it's society.
You think it's a family?
You took the words out of my mouth. That's what I was just about to say. It's not society. Society is fine with even our generation. Shit, I'm 50. You know what I'm saying? Our generation is accepting it because it's our children that are turning, right?
Yeah.
So we come accepting it. But what was it? What we were just talking about? See, that's the stoner in me.
What?
But what we were just talking about. Being accepted. Suicide rate. The suicide rate. I think they're being shunned by their parents.
Yeah.
I think their parents or whoever raised them, whether it be their grandparents or not. Do you know what I'm saying? Is that old school thinking? Not my daughter, not my son. No way. But it all in all.
On the flip side, I think it's a travesty with what Canada's doing.
I don't. You got me on that one.
Apparently some, and I don't know the whole detail, so excuse me if I get something wrong. But
okay, paraphrasing.
Right, but apparently they arrested a comedian for using the wrong pronoun. I think it's absurd. But even worse, that it's considered child abuse if you refer to your child as a male or female before that child decides on what gender they want to be. And I'm like,
I'm sorry, that's Canada for you with their socialized medicine as well. But here
it's becoming us.
That's funny because we were talking about this. Me and my girlfriend were talking about this. There's a family that is raising their kid. I forgot though. Gender something. It's where they gender neutral. Okay, and then the child goes, yeah, I like wearing boys' clothes and girls' clothes. I went, and then she continued on talking, and my girlfriend goes, that's pretty funny. She's gender neutral, but she knows the difference between men's clothes and girls' clothes. Isn't that
a very good point?
And
good point.
Your parents. Are raising you like this, but you just contradicted yourself in the first sentence you just spoke.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what's the word I'm talking about? Our old boss said this once: if you don't have a solution to the problem, when you go to somebody and say there's a problem here, and they look at you and go, well, what's the solution? If you cannot come back with something, I don't care if it's half-assed, I don't care if it's wrong. If you can't come back with something, you're part of the problem. And I think nowadays people are just becoming part of the problem instead of stepping back and take a deep breath and say, okay, maybe we got to think about this.
It's funny. Because I remember during the summer when the whole lockdowns happened and everybody's going out of work. I mean, the only thing I had to do was watch the news, and I was just getting enraged. And the only thing what I had to do is I had to step back and take a look at my community.
Well,
there's nothing going on in my community that's going on the TV, so why am I getting so over-polarized about shit that's not affecting my community?
Well,
I think if everybody worries about their own community, we'd be a better place.
Well, their own backyard.
Yeah.
You have to take care of your own backyard.
And yourself,
first. That includes yourself. No, that's your own backyard.
Yeah.
And I think you were hoping that with all this lockdown and everything, everybody was going to look within and be a little more patient with things nowadays. But it's just going to be just like 9/11. After 9/11 passed, give it 2 years, 3 years. The negativity comes back. The 1 4-letter word I don't like and I don't want to say.
I think oppressing and just basically all they're doing is more and more and more ever since 9/11 is more and more of this oppression. And it's not having a positive effect on our society. It's having a negative effect. But what do I know? It's just a cook.
As soon as the people wake up and understand it's not a race thing and it's an economic thing.
Yeah.
That's where people need to start realizing it. You can hear concerned citizens in their own communities talking about what they're talking about, and they're talking about economic equality. They're not talking about this right here. Everybody's made it this. That epidural. What's that basal cell that first layer. What's it called? I don't know. Skin. It's just what are people talking about?
I know. I personally, and it's really none of my business, but I don't like the term Afro-American. Why aren't they just American?
Or why,
that's what's silly. It's
Irish American.
It's not my business, but I'd be like,
American,
you're not giving me that shit.
The funny part is you're going to get static for this because then you're going to be called this or that because you don't show tolerance towards it.
All we're doing is the 5 people that listen to this.
Yeah, exactly. But all we're doing right now is it's called conversation.
Right.
And everybody needs to be involved in the conversation about race, if that's what you want to get technical. Not everybody has to be at the table. It can't be one excluded just because they had the power for every time. But let's get off of that because we're not talking about that. We're talking about because what I've noticed what I've noticed about in the kitchen it's all brotherhood. You're only as strong as the person standing next to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is.
It is kind of even nowadays once I find out that someone's been a cook for years, all we do is we talk about kitchen stories, and that's what kind of I thought about this podcast. I'm like, why not just do that?
Wow, it's funny you talk about stuff like that.
So me and you, we've already done these stories so many times. It's hard to come on and retell the stories that we've already.
Not really, because we get Silas on here.
What is Silas doing?
Easy.
I'd love to get Silas on here.
He's next. Don't worry. But we just got to be able to beep him out. No,
let him go. Fuck it.
But
I'm not I don't really cuss a lot, but I'm trying to cuss more because it's a podcast, and I think
it's not about the cat. It's not about the cursing. It's about the name bombs, man. That boy would be dropping bombs like.
Yeah. Well, he is. But that's it. You know what? You paint the picture on the podcast. This is who you are. You want to be a name dropper? Be a name dropper.
Aren't cooks the most animated people you can come across? Aren't we misconstrued?
I love cooks.
Aren't we misconstrued as being hot-headed and being what's the word I'm looking for? Confrontational when we're people. We're passionate about what we do.
Yeah, people with passion cook better. That's why.
Oh my God,
we were allowed. Now the food's getting a little stale, but it's making my job a lot easier. I'm out in the middle of nowhere doing whatever the hell I want, and it's like fuck. People are so impressed about nothing.
Well, it's not about if you notice that before 2008 when all that shit fell off. We all fell off, when the market took a crash. Then before that, there was a lot of movement where people were actually starting to be a little more healthier when it came to eating. People started being a little more conscious of everything. But now that all of this has hit the fan, everybody's gone back to.
To go look at how much trash, or how much more throwaway stuff. I mean, we're actually moving in the right direction. I think for the first time environmentally before COVID-19, as far as restaurant goes. I don't know about the rest of the world, but
everything was starting to be biodegradable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's not just that, but we were reusing. I was very big on that. I did not want to use to-go containers. I tried to encourage people that I learned off my customers from bringing your own to-go container.
Bring your own Tupperware.
Yeah, and I've always told people if you ever want to bring your own water into a restaurant, please do.
Right.
Not one restaurant on this planet is going to care if you bring in your own
I
free
bring my
water.
own bottle of water when I go in.
Nobody cares.
And you know what the funny part is when they have the water fountains that you're or the soda fountains that you can go to. I'd always fill up my water bottle.
Okay, yeah.
With water. Not with soda. I would go fill it up with water because they always have a filtration system, and you could always hit that tap that's over there. And, we get fresh water all the time. Yeah. No ice.
And nobody's going to care.
No,
nobody.
No. Nowadays, you're correct. The restaurants were because it's on my first list. That's what everybody's starting to get back to is this. Farm to table movement thing, where
it's becoming corporate.
Oh my God, I think it's an oxymoron.
Yes,
a farm to table. Imagine that your food coming from a farm and then going to the table. Holy shit! What a concept.
I think everybody in our business, we need to downsize anyway because look at the industry, and we need to get more. Cut out all the middlemen.
Well, that's how, like I said, we were talking about that in New Orleans.
Farm to customer.
Yep. We were getting pig up there. It was called Chapapila, and they were awesome pigs. But their pigs were all sold. Every pig they butchered was sold. We could barely get a rack off of them, like a French rack, like the chops with the rack on it Frenched. We could barely get that whole. We were getting. They were giving us the, that one shoulder piece. It's a chop, but it has no bones on it. You know what I'm saying? It's part of that loin. It's the end part of that loin or whatever. That's what they were selling to us. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I that's not what we have on the menu. I'll have to change my menu. Yeah. But it's cool that we can actually start using names and stuff like that. That's to me, because Europe has been doing that forever. If they say they have a certain type of ingredient on the menu, what farm it came from, that's usually where it came from. You know what I mean? And it's cool to use that.
That was my original idea. Just never could get enough farms. And then weed became legalized, and I lost a couple farms. It's
more of a cash crop. But wait until
Can't blame them.
Well, wait until that becomes. We can put that in the kitchen, and you can put out two menus.
Another thing that COVID-19. Just while we're on farmers, I had an organic quail farmer, and I had quail on my menu. I was one of 10 restaurants of his accounts. I'm the only one open. He had to quit raising organic quail and get a 7-day-a-week job. I don't know what he's doing.
And doing that stuff on the side, huh? Was he
Not
still
even.
raising quail on the side?
He's like, I don't have time. The job he got requires him to work 7 days a week. He's
gotcha.
Latin. I don't know.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks because I was there was a place up in Utah, up in Zion, that was opening up there, and it was like all up there. And that when I saw the menu, that was the first thing I said is there needs to be some game on this menu. People forget about this one thing that we've been eating longer than we've been eating cow, and it's called a rabbit. I love me some rabbit.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to get rabbit on my menu too.
That right there, if you could find somebody that could grow some rabbits, man, that would be beautiful.
And next year, I'm probably going to put some kind of organ on the menu because I think we need to get back to eating organs.
Well, it's a lot of people don't understand is those organs have minerals that our body's been using. It processes those minerals out of our blood. Those are the same thing that we can put back into our blood, the iron, and all of that other stuff.
There's someone told me that I think I saw it on some anyway, but it was really interesting that the human body can survive off an animal if we eat it head to toe. Only we could survive. We get everything our body needs from an animal if we eat all the organs and everything.
Well, nobody's ever died from rancid meat. You don't die from rancid meat. You can get sicker than a dog, but you don't die from it. Have you ever heard the roadkill? Have you ever heard these people roadkill cookbooks and stuff like this? People that are eating roadkill. There are people that they're green. Look at dry aged beef, dude.
Dude, if I ran over a deer, I'd think about cutting off a few pieces.
You just got to report it. But look at dry-aged beef that's been sitting in there for 90 days.
Yeah.
You know what they're doing now is, you ready for this?
The cryovacuum.
What's even better is you cover it in duck fat, or you cover it in fat. So now it puts a barrier of air between. You know what I'm saying? It puts like cheese does with wax. You do it with fat. You see what I'm saying? You do it with duck fat, so now it covers the outside skin. Now you're trimming off 1,000 times less. Yes. That's my boy over there at Win, SW. He said that, man. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yes.
That's wicked.
You following me? So there's always a way of preserving shit. That's been around for a long time.
That has been around.
That's not the first time shit like that's been around.
So they're dry aging it in duck fat.
They're covering it. They're putting it in the walk. When they have it in the walk-in, dry aging it, they're covering it so that the air is getting to it.
And the fat will still draw out the moisture.
Yes, you're still drawing moisture out.
Oh, that's genius. That's
still
genius.
drawing. Yeah.
See why I want to do this? I just learned something. That's
Here's
awesome.
one even better too. It's your yield is so much better. You're not losing so much product. You're not losing so much product, as well as
why don't you go over, see, because I understand what the dry age process is, but maybe someone watching doesn't. What is the dry age process?
What is the dry age process?
Yeah,
that's a good one, man. Yeah. Basically, it depends on what temperature you want it at. People say room temperature. What's your room temperature? Most people it's walk-in. If you're looking at room temperature, what's that? Anywhere from
you can dry age a steak in a refrigerator.
Yes, you can. That's what people do nowadays because of the health department.
Yeah,
the health department won't let you hang stuff like they did back in the country.
You mean they don't have the stuff in the dining room at the Mandalay Bay Steakhouse?
I don't know.
Oh, strip steak, I think.
They had stuff hanging.
No, they had these pillars see-through plexiglass, and they would put the whole side of ribeye in there, and it'd be dry aging.
That's got to be one. I'm sure the health department came out and stamped that and said that was okay. And I'm sure it's a closed environment.
It's a closed environment.
I'm pretty sure it's a case that's under lock and key, and that the health department has come out and said okay. Yeah. Because. Man, we got some of the strictest laws out here, man. It's unreal.
Vegas, yeah. That's one reason why I won't open in Pahrump, because the health department in Vegas uses Pahrump.
It's Clark County. Yeah. Yes,
no, it's Nye County in Pahrump.
No, it's Nye County, but they use all the Clark County shit. If I'm not mistaken, Metro's out there, too. Is it Metro or Nye County? No, Metro's Sheriff. Not out there? Okay, cool.
As far as I know, they're not.
I could have sworn I seen black and whites out there before. I know there's Nye County sheriffs. Yeah. I know there's sheriffs, but I'm talking about Metropolitan Police Department.
What's funny is I know that when in Inyo County, when one of our sheriffs got into a car wreck, we had an Inyo County sheriff's, we had a Nye County sheriff out in Inyo County covering it. So it's possible that they just sent a Metro guy out to cover something.
Right.
I don't know.
Before the force was big enough. Right. Parump's huge now compared to what it was back in the day.
I think it's like 3 times the size. It was since I was a kid.
Easy.
It's over 30,000.
Wow.
But it's not really. It's funny how it's the same size. They just kind of all the farmland is kind of disappearing, and it's just filling in with houses.
That's kind of like on the east side in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Remember when it used to be patchy back there in the 70s and the 80s and stuff like that? And that's all they did was just started filling in the empty spots.
Yeah, the land is too expensive. I mean, look at your mom's or your lot.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people
you don't see houses on lots like that anymore.
And we got lucky. We're grandfathered in the groundwater, so we got a well out there, so we're good.
Really?
Rolling, yes.
Wow,
yes,
good for you.
Yes, a lot of people. What the crazy part is when the city came out and said you need to switch to city water. They were like, okay, and they go, and you have to pay for it. Yeah, wow. And we had to pay for it to go from the house to the street. We had to pay for that, and I'm all like, you want us to give up our well and cement it up that we can't use it anymore?
And their reasoning is because you use more water with the well?
Yeah. They think that, you're on the water. If you look at it, that water, that aquifer there is one of the largest in the world.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah, it goes all the way under Pahrump. It's the same water system.
Why do you think they can farm out there? Why do you think they're alfalfa? They grew alfalfa out there. And
I will say this, and this is my ex who was worked for the Conservancy. She told me that it is one of the largest aquifers in the world. That's a fact. And it's a ton of water, but it's a prehistoric body of water, so it's not going to replenish.
No, what's there is what's there.
Yeah. So as we suck it out, it's not going back. And this other lady came in and she sent me this. She emailed me this thing because I guess they test the water level at the north side of Pahrump and the south side of Pahrump since 1985, and you can see the graph. It just goes steadily down.
Oh yeah.
So you're losing. They figure they're losing about 4 feet a year.
Look at the lake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at the ring around the lake.
That lake should have never been there anyway. So I mean,
exactly.
It's hard to get mad about a man-made lake that.
Oh, I don't get mad about it. It's just you just see the consumption that.
It just makes me sad because as a kid, I just remember going there so much, and it was it's so many memories that are just gone. You can't.
You
can see the beach you used to play at up there.
Yeah. Exactly. And if you look out over there, watch out. Oh, there's a big old rock. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, my gosh. Speak of the devil.
Oh,
Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. That is hilarious. I'll have to text him back here in a second.
Call him on the podcast.
That is hilarious.
See him, tell him we're on a podcast. That's so funny.
Just trying not to.
Where's he? Is he in town?
Yeah. He's over at a friend's caretaking and stuff like that.
Huh?
Later,
is he working?
Okay, please take care of yourself. It says I'm gonna call you back. He said he's gonna call me back later. Okay. Yeah, he's doing fine. He's staying away from the big, the big vid and everything, trying to stay healthy. But yeah, Silas is doing Silas. But see, he's like most people in our spot. He's overqualified, and nobody nowadays wants to. Everybody thinks that. Cooking is so easy because they see it on TV and they see these people like Gordon Ramsay yelling at people and they think that's the way it goes in the kitchen. You know,
it's not. It's you can fake it. You know, you can get pre-made food and dress it up, and some idiot's going to think you're a chef. But that happens all the time.
Remember who's our prep cook? What was her name?
Where, Napa?
Yeah, at Napa. What was her name? She was pregnant. Yeah. Do you know she's Gordon Ramsay's chef over there at? She was Gordon Ramsay's chef over there at Chips, whatever that is over there at the.
She like head cheese.
Yeah, she was the. She was the chef over there. We were doing Epicurean, I think it was, over there at Caesar's Palace, Virgil's place I was working at. We did and she come walking through, and I was like, "Fuck!" She's talking to her little minions, and I was, "Get the fuck out of here!" And her minions looked at me and were like, But like she looked up at me and she just her you could just see her just drop. I was like, "How you been? You know, how you been?" And she gave me a big old hug. But you could see people think you have to have an attitude. You know, you could see that she had an attitude when she talked to her minions. When she talked like. You know what I'm saying? That kind of like my chest is out.
Well, that's kind of his MO.
Well, yes, you know? But
he teaches that on the.
It's not just him, by the way, and that's not true. It's just because of the camera. If you go to his places where he was at, like in London and stuff, where he had his restaurants and everything like that, nah, the cooks tell a totally different story. He's a totally different person. It's not. It's for the cameras. He is who he is just because of the cameras. You know?
Well, I mean, John, we was a teddy bear as long as we didn't fuck up.
Man, or Joanna didn't.
That's true.
Joanna didn't call him up beforehand.
My bad. Yeah,
you
you're
know
right.
Messed up. He
used to come in so mad, and we're like, "Oh God, what did she do this time?"
No, what was fucked up is when she'd call him right before service. Oh. He was all cool right before service, and somebody fucked up and told her not to talk to her and get him pissed off.
Oh, she did. Well,
now she started doing it on purpose. You know, but man, all Mike had to do was walk across the room and get him pissed off.
Oh, Mike, just
Can I do one thing? Michael. No, this is not how I show you. No, Michael.
What's your funniest Michael moment? What's your funniest sous chef moment with Jean-Louis? Because he got the worst.
Oh,
we all got yelled at. We all got screamed at, but he got the worst.
That's on him.
I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. I'm just saying he got the worst.
That's on him, man. He brought that on himself, man. He brings it, you reap, you sow what you reap, or you reap what you sow.
Yeah,
he did that, man. If he would have, honestly, if Gabriel, you would have been there. I would have been able to talk Gabriel into getting you there. But if Gabriel would have been in Mike's position, that kitchen, everybody would have been chefs in their own kitchen. It would have been a lot structured. It would have been something with guidance. Because
Gabriel wouldn't have let the other, like the executives of a hotel, bully us.
And Gabriel would have run it like a chef. Yeah. Mike wasn't a chef. Mike was lucky and worked for Danielle Ballou in New York. I tell you what, Mike's timing. Mike's timing is like impeccable.
Yeah,
he has got impeccable fucking timing.
Yeah, no, he got lucky.
He is in the right place.
In
at
a
the wrong
sense,
time.
Joey, we all got lucky. We got lucky because the man came to our town.
We got lucky because he liked hanging around with young people, man. We got lucky. We got lucky because of.
We got lucky. Joanna dumped him, and he wanted to hang out with us all of a sudden. Remember that? He's like, "What are you guys doing tonight?"
I'll tell you. Okay.
Oh, chef, you want to go out with us?
Here you go. What's your John Louis story? Say one John Louis story.
Oh, it has to be the one with Mike and the Bandito.
Which one?
Okay, let me paint the picture for you. Like super
was this
busy
before
night.
I was there or after I left?
All three of us were there. So it was me, you, and I'm pretty sure it was. I know it was. I think Gerald was there.
But Gerald was always already a
yeah,
soup.
because either
You took his spot in the meat spot.
Well, yeah, because Gerald was, I don't, whatever.
That's a different story.
Yeah, I mean, but so whoever was on soup, I think it was Lee actually. I might have had Irish on my side by then. I might have had Irish.
Or was it Miwa? Irish is Miwa. What's his name?
Brad.
Brad. That's all I know him by is Miwa.
It might have been Brad.
You know what I mean by Miwa, right?
Might have been Brad.
You know what I mean, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you want to tell you? Okay, finish.
So anyway, whoever was on soup, remember? I'll never forget because it was a duck consomme cappuccino. So it was duck consomme with foie gras espuma in the bandito.
Yeah. And then you had to shake it, fuck around.
So we all knew it was too hot. He didn't cool down enough, so he's not getting. It won't gas up and it won't foam up.
Right.
So he's sitting there, and it was the same time that he was trying to get his wife pregnant, but apparently was shooting blanks. Remember that?
Who?
Mike.
Oh, yeah, because, yeah.
So in the dining room was full.
Right.
We were like fucking just railing. It was it was one of his set menus he'd love to drop on us, and that was like the first
Joe,
course.
2 more. Joe,
So
2
it was
more.
always,
Joe,
like,
2
fucked
more.
up, yeah. So and he screams down the line. He said, like, "Keep masturbating, Michael. You will never come. Never."
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Oh my God, dude.
Holy shit.
I was like, I couldn't stop laughing, and I felt so sorry for him, but I could not stop fucking laughing.
Between you and me, as a man, he would have got to fuck you. I'm sorry, between you and me,
he deserved to fuck you quite a few times, but whatever.
Man to man. If I'd have been like, fuck you too, chef. You would have got
What do you mean? Yes, chef wasn't.
Fuck you too, chef.
So what's your favorite story?
It had nothing to do with the kitchen, actually, to tell you the truth. One of my, just a story. It's not my favorite. I've got...
I know, there's so many. But that was my favorite.
You started talking about going out, and we would drink. There was a lot of times because he loved to play pool.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, there was a...
He likes to cheat at pool, too.
Oh, duh. You have to set him straight, man. Especially ball in hand shit, man. That's fine. Remember, you would play ball in hand. That's duh. But you have to talk about those rules before you break, not in the middle of the fucking game. Anyway, either way.
But you know whose rules we played.
Yes. Yeah, but I don't give a fuck what the rules were. Just talk to me before you break. I don't want to hear that shit as we're going. Okay? No. Okay? Okay, I can't remember what bar it was. We're out. We just got our asses handed to us. And, of course, John Louis cool, A lot of people say as a chef, you shouldn't go out with your crew. But fuck off. I think that's what brought us together. But, we were out playing pool.
Again, can you imagine him during the Me Too movement? Holy fuck.
Anyway,
Holy fuck.
Hey, fuck the women. What about the guys? Well, you see the guys, man. What are you talking about? But, we're playing pool. And there's this guy named Brian Murphy. He worked over there at Emerald's place when it first started going. Remember Lom?
Yes.
Lom knew him over there, okay? Lom was over there. Lom met him, and his name was Brian Murphy. He was a sous chef over there. Okay, I had met him like 2-3 times. All right? Cool kid. Me and John Louis are playing pool, right? You got to watch John Louis, because like you said, he can cheat.
He cheats, man.
He cheats. He's like he's not cheating if he doesn't get caught. He's that mentality. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's not cheating.
Caught, all of a sudden it's a rule.
Oh, okay.
Oh, European rule.
Oh, like his hand in the cookie jar.
Are we in Europe? Pretty sure we're in the States there, son.
I fucking kill you. You Americans, I fucking kill you. But so we're standing there, and I'm trying to watch John Louis. Okay, so I'm coming back, and I got my, you got your table behind the pool table and everything, coming back for your drink after you finish, shooting and shit. You come back, and I see these guys in the distance. Every time I look up, they're getting closer. Look up, they're a little bit closer. I look up, and by the time I can see it's Brian and somebody else, right? So I'm all like, whatever, right? And by this time, I went to shoot, and I come back, and they made it to the table. And I'm all like, hey, what's up, guys? And I'm trying to get John Louis, trying to keep one eye on John Louis and talking to these fucking cats, right? I'm like, John Louis, it's your turn, right? I'm talking to these guys, and they come up and they go, do you know who you're playing pool with? And I'm went, yeah, why? I went, yeah, why? And then he's like, Joe, your turn. Joe, your turn. And by this time, I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, yeah, hold on. John Louis, this is Brian. And I introduced John Louis to him. And he's all, go, your shot. And we go back to playing pool. And then they fade off into the crowd. But just the stardom that he has, if you were a cook, a chef,
how about getting caught smoking a joint on the top of the Mandalay Bay and getting away with it?
I got one for you, and Chrissy will get you for this one, okay?
What?
Mike was out of town, and we were doing an in-house shoot. They had the big old. It was a Monday or a Tuesday. Me and Chrissy got called out on it. Okay, so me and Chrissy went in there early. They set up like the 9, dude. The big production. Okay,
really?
right there in front of his station. Do you know what I'm saying? On the fish side, that station is where he set up at. Mm-hmm. Okay, went through everything that we were going to do. Okay, I'm talking about he was going to give Chrissy something on that side to tell her to put it in the blender. She would go and then I would hand it to him on the other side. Do you know what I'm saying? We had it all choreographed and everything like that. And so we've got this big production crew in front of us. We got the lights going and everything like that. Me and him are standing, me and Chrissy are standing beside him looking at it. He turns around to us and he goes, hey, and he pulls out the bud that I gave him from the night fucking before to give to fucking, Joanna. He went, and the secret ingredient. To me and Chrissy, he had his back to the camera crew and everything like that, and turned to me and Chrissy with that bud in his hand, and he goes, yeah, the secret ingredient. Me and Chrissy fall out. We fucking fall out. But you know what? It went flawless after that. Do you know what I'm saying? We hit our cues mm-hmm. and everything like that, and it was like what Gabriel told me. Gabriel always told me when you're in the shits, he'd go up to you and fucking smack you and go, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And get your mind to think about something else. And then when you went back to what you were trying to do, you jammed right fucking through it like it was no tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And that's what John Louis was doing. And he would always, you see these chefs, how they do that shit, man. They get your fucking mind somewhere else, and then it snaps right back like that rubber band. And you're fucking jamming.
Sometimes I think you just kind of stress yourself out because you get, a little behind and you just kind of, if you just go.
Burp. Undo your belt buckle. Shit, relax a second, man.
You're not going to, there's only so fast you can work. It's only so fast you can put the plates out.
You can't, there's no such thing as multitasking. You can only do one thing at a fucking time.
Well,
you can only
cook multiple things, but
you can only do one thing at a time, man. That's it. And so, but that's one of my favorite stories with John Louis. That has nothing to do with the kitchen, man. It had to do with him being just that celebrity star, man.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the one guy that used to work over at, that was the exec over there at, John Louis got him his job over there at the Bellagio. And, of course, the Scottish guy.
Grant?
Yeah, the Scottish guy.
He's Scottish? I thought he was French.
Oh, no, he's Scottish, bro. I say his last name, but yeah.
Grant?
McPherson.
It is McPherson. Okay.
Yeah. But he's from Canada, though. He did all his time in Canada.
Okay.
Did a lot of time in Canada. He has a nephew named Ewart that's pretty good. He's a really good cook. He actually was working with Michael Mina after he left the Bellagio and Wynn and stuff like that. But I'll never forget it, man. I love Irish. I love that girl. She goes. Go ask the Scottishmen why do go ask the Scot why do Scottishmen have long narrow peckers? And I went. And she goes, because they're such tight-fisted wankers. Of course, I spout that off to him while we were playing pool.
You know where Irish is working now?
She's in town?
Oh, yeah.
Shut up. Where?
I think she's getting back together with Brad. I haven't talked to her since before COVID. Irish pub, mix something.
Imagine that.
Yeah, right across the street from New Orleans.
I know where that's at.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly where it's at. Right there.
She's a bartender there, usually at 6.
I bet Caitlin's fucking huge, huh?
Caitlin's an adult. She's like a
18-year-old. She's out of high school and stuff.
She's very pretty, too, despite looking kind of like Brad. We always kind of thought Brad kind of looked like a girl.
Well, Mila. You ready? You know how he got that right? Okay, so this is it. He's over there working. This was before I knew they were hooked up, man. Dude,
and Chris...
Get off.
Whatever, man.
Get off. Whatever, you fuckers. You suck. Y'all suck.
Whatever.
Y'all suck. But anyway, Brad was talking about county lockup in L.A., okay? He was saying how he got arrested one time, and he said in county lockup. He goes, I don't remember anything, but the mirrors were really nice. Like, they had nice mirrors. You know what I'm saying? They had nice mirrors. The setups for the mirrors and everything like that were what he got out of county fucking lockup.
Was the mirrors were really nice.
Well, the mirrors were really nice. And so it was just something that was just, it was like, okay, mirrors.
Poor Brad, he's still a sous chef. I was like, God damn it, Brad, you need to stop wasting your time with those goddamn corporations. I don't know what you're doing. There's no way that man needs to learn anything else about cooking.
No, Brad's problem was his sale pitch. He has no self-esteem, so he always took.
Like he had good self-esteem to me.
If you told him he was doing something wrong when it comes to cooking, he's going to analyze it 14,000 times before he realizes, no, I'm not. Look at him over there trying to do. Look at him over there doing the risotto fucking station. He was still he didn't understand that John Lee was telling me you can par cook the risotto, bro. You don't have to cook it to order right there. You can par cook a little bit.
Yeah. That's a Chris.
But no, of course not. He would cook one cup at a time. He would cook one order at a time. One order at a time. So he looked like an idiot over there doing this.
All you gotta do is stay ahead of that. It's really easy dish to do.
What, you got one order in, then you make 3.
Right. You could save that shit too. But whatever.
Actually, he started letting you do. You could cook it par, put it on a sheet pan. So busy times, he was letting you throw it into the pan and fucking boom, 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 boom. Yeah. As long as it was al dente, it had to be al dente still. Do you know? You know what I'm talking about? A little crunchy. It had to be all the way crunchy so that you were just
a little bit.
Yeah, you were getting it to where you could get it to where, But that's cooking anyway, man. People don't understand that shit. A lot of people laugh at me about microwaves, but I had a guy
have their purpose.
Man, dude, I had a guy show me John Shank. He showed me a New York guy, and he showed me. I'll tell you a story about 9/11. It's fucking pretty funny. Typical New Yorker attitude. But we used to at Nectar there, he would make the plates up on the expo side, on the pass, with ingredients that were already cooked. So we'd do these potatoes and we'd cut them in discs and we'd saute them off. They were like fingerlings, and we'd saute them off with garlic and extra virgin olive oil, and put them in the oven, pull them out. And so they were all cooked and crispy on one side, and then we'd layer that on the bottom. And then maybe I think we did a corn relish that would go on top of that, and then that would go into, we do Swiss chard, you do that, and we do a pile of that, or something. And then that would go into the microwave.
Rocket Man?
And that would go into the microwave for give or take, to heat it up, and then that would be put in the window, and then we could put the protein on top of it that was cooked on our side and the broth that we had. And we'd make it as a wicked tomato poblano broth that we'd put over top of it. Do you know what I'm saying? And stuff like this. Or we'd do wax beans, stuff like this that we could levy the pressure on one side, and then it was just bing, bing, bing. That's what the microwave was wicked for. Chef Mike is what I call him.
Yeah.
Chef Mike was, and it's sort of, a lot of people, they get offended. I get offended.
Because they think it's like radiation, and it's not. I've talked to a lot of people, because I never really understood microwaves. It does the same thing heat does. It just makes the molecules move.
It transfers heat. A lot of people don't understand. You don't have to worry about the stuff inside. You got to worry about the container. Have you ever seen that where water blows up? Because the container is so hot. When you move it, the kinetic energy, I'm mispronouncing it, but that kinetic energy, goes rapid in it.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is that if there's nothing in the water to boil, it will hold it.
It absorbs the energy
until it gets it absorbs the energy for some reason, which is kind of strange to me that it does that. But yeah, when you pull it out. You could throw anything in there, and as soon as it hits it, found that space to bubble.
Move the glass. When you move the cup out of there,
it's probably hitting something.
Yeah, it hits the other thing.
Yeah. And it's interesting how that water works. In general, water's weird. How is it that oxygen is flammable, hydrogen is flammable, put them together, we put out every fire on the planet?
There you go, man. And you can't live without it.
No, it's so weird.
Live without it.
It's such a weird.
That's the kicker, man.
And if you heat it up too, if water hits 2,000 degrees, it becomes like a nuclear bomb.
Well,
it's a hydrogen bomb.
It's called fusion, right?
Yeah, it's hydrogen bomb. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Crazy substance.
Can't live with it. Can't live without it.
No, and it's also water's the only substance that it's the only liquid on the planet that expands when it freezes and then shrinks when it heats. All other liquids does the complete opposite.
Yep.
That's nuts.
Well, it's funny how it's all in all three stages. There's other components, but you get a solid, you get a gas, and you get a liquid.
Right.
All out of the same.
Yep.
There's other stuff that's like that, but
not everything. Most, some of it's just liquid.
That's erosion.
Gas.
You see that living out there in Tacoma. You can see the effect of water thawing and getting in the cracks and freeze and then thaw. Yeah. And that's what. Then the wind comes by and just blows it.
Extremely erosive. Extremely erosive.
If you ever think about it, it's perfect when you want to do a turkey. What do? You put the brine in the water and then you throw the turkey in the brine. What is that? That water brings it. That water brings it right through the meat and brings it right back out, doesn't it? It goes right through the cell wall. And it's the perfect,
exchange of juices.
Yeah, it's you want something to get infused with something, put it in water.
Yeah,
or
and draws out the juices and stuff.
It draws everything. Boom, boom, boom. But
Hey, so let's talk about future. What do you got in the future plans? Anything? Still waiting for this economy to come back.
That's the future plan is staying afloat and staying alive, man. At this point in time, stay focused on oneself, self-being. That's what we need to do nowadays. It's we can't do nothing right now. Everybody says you can do something. It's you want to sit there. We can do something, but there needs. As soon as this shit's under control, and we start. You
think it's good?
When
you don't think they're going to drag this on like they did the Iraqi Freedom 5 they're on?
Well,
we're going to have the coronavirus 30 in about 10 years.
They're already coming up with different strains.
And new vaccines. You don't even need the fucking vaccine.
Yes, you do. The reason why you need to keep going with different vaccines is because the virus adapts and changes as well.
You need to take 50,000... I don't remember. I don't know, units of D with a isotope, zinc, or like I get alkali out of the water. That's what you need to do, and you will not get sick. Take that from a cook. I'm a cook. I know everything. That's my expert opinion.
Hold on, let me roll up my pant legs. Hold on. Okay, continue. A lot of people look at you and say, "What's that? What's that? Borax." A lot of people look at you and go, "Oh my God, borax." But if you take what is it, boraxian? I can't remember what the borax. It breaks down. It's a mineral. They farm it out there, and they used to mine it out there. The 20 mule team and stuff like that. It's in soap. But if you take the borax out of that, the actual mineral itself, that borax used to be in the soil. Okay, and we used to that used to be in our body. And it was a chemical that we got out of the dirt that went from the dirt into our food. But we've farmed the land so much, we always have to sow into it more minerals, more whatever we take out of it.
I think it's because we use a monoculture everywhere.
Well, the funny part is we don't mill back in the soil what we take out of it properly.
Right.
And borax is part of that. The borax is I can't remember the actual.
But that's something that
These are minerals that you can use.
Yeah.
You would find it beneficial to use it because it helps with inflammation.
I find ginger to be the best.
Ginger's a good one. Turmeric.
Turmeric, yeah.
Turmeric is a good one. These are all anti-inflammatories.
That's what I juice ginger and apple, and then I take my vitamin D, I soak.
Throw a little bit of turmeric in there.
I will.
Turmeric's another one of those that helps big time with circulation and shit like that. If you look at it, the gurus have been eating that shit forever and a fucking day.
No, you're right. I'm gonna get some turmeric.
Yeah, that's one of those super foods that everybody. It's what the baby boomers are starting to take nowadays because they're looking for supplements other than pills and stuff like that. They're looking for more organic shit, and that's what we all need to do is go back to. There needs to be more shamans out there that need to go back to holistic stuff and remember that whatever higher spirit that you believe in, actually, whatever made this place, actually put everything on this place I call Mother Earth. on this earth for us to sustain ourselves. You know, what we should be more doing, like I want to do what I wanted to do down in Mississippi before we left was like people are talking farm to table. Fuck that farm to table. It's sustainable.
Right.
It's a sustainable farm. When you see blueprints out there, you were talking about you can get a deer and eat the whole deer and it gets you everything you want. It's talking about sustainable stuff. And people don't understand is that you only get out of what you put in it.
Right.
You know, and down south there, you remember Zucker?
Mm-hmm.
He's down in Mobile. He's still down in Mobile. He's got a place up there in Mobile. I can't remember what big ass building it's on. But up on top and everything. I was giving him names to this guy because he was doing co-ops farms. These are the bomb, if you've ever heard of these things, where, you know, they get a community to go in and do a farm, and they divvy up what you farm.
In Shoshone.
That would be killer, but
with the help of
the only thing that sucks is out there. You'd have to bring in the dirt. You'd have to find dirt. You'd have to sow in a bunch of shit.
We're actually doing a bucket hydroponic system with tents, and then we're gonna do some raised beds. So stuff that can handle like the temperature change.
Or you could just dig down and make like a 4 foot down. Do you know what I'm saying? And make it cooler.
You can do that.
Do you know what I'm saying? And make it just a little bit lower so that your top is. But
then you're susceptible to the rabbits and stuff.
And drought, or not drought, but water runoff. The only thing that sucks is when it rains. It rains
2 inches annually, 2.5 inches annually. Okay. It's not that it's funny. It doesn't rain a lot. It just doesn't, the clay doesn't absorb it.
That's why they call it. That's why the flash floods out here too.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's because that water stays on the surface. Top, it doesn't absorb.
It'll 2-3 weeks later, you'll see puddles just sit there. 2-3, and I mean it's hot. It's weird that it's it does that, but
it gets you because it's sitting on top. That caliche.
Caliche, yeah.
That cement.
The bentonite. The bentonite.
Bentonite. That clay. That's it. Yeah. My God, dude! I bought a bar of soap out there. I can't remember. I was
Shoshone or China Ranch.
China Ranch, not China Ranch. It was at what's his name? Who was the old dishwasher? What the fuck was his name?
My old dishwasher?
Yeah, what was his name? He lives over there in the park. He does the thing over there. What's his name?
The old dishwasher.
What was the old dishwasher's name? He worked for beer more than anything else.
Oh, Jeff.
Jeff,
yes.
Yeah, and he gave me a bar of soap that had that bentonite in it, dude. I swear to God, I couldn't even use it 2 times. It dried my skin up. It sucked every little bit of moisture out of my skin.
Give you a little secret of the soap at the campground. Okay, It has fryer oil in it because they have fryer oil. They had no one else to do, so the guy who owned
that was the fat they used
in their soap.
I'm gonna throw that bar of soap away.
Did it have a funny smell? Yeah, that's fryer oil.
It's got wrapped and it's got stuff in it.
Yeah. And the Asians buy that shit up like it's going out of style. Yeah, dude. But everybody locally knows what it is, so we don't. I got another soap.
No wonder. Damn, I won't say it.
What?
I don't want to say that over the line. That's why he.
Oh yes.
Right.
More than likely, yeah. But that's what because the bistro, I guess, is supposed to be opening up February.
Oh yeah.
So
who?
He's what's his name? Perez.
Who?
Perez and Paul.
I'm gonna go out there and talk to Amy. I was gonna go out there and.
You really need to go out there and talk to Amy.
I'm gonna go talk to Amy. She was out. She went out of town. Went crystals. Somebody has a place where you can find crystals. So she went out there for like a couple, 2-3 days. She said she'll be back. Yeah, she said she'll be back, and so I'm gonna hit her up then. Mm-hmm. She's cool. We're on Messenger, and so like she was all like, she's a very nice person, and I'll just go out and talk to her. That's an easy gig.
It doesn't sound like these guys really want to do it. They just don't know what to do.
No, what I was thinking about doing it was your days off and add a day, and then let them take over 2 days, and then just be open 4 days. Does that make or 5 days? Does that make sense?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Whatever you want to do, Joe, I'm sure it's going to be a success.
And then I could just teach them, and so that it's because
teach who?
Perez.
Yeah, Perez
the other 2 days, whatever. The other 2 days that I'm not there. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't really want to be out there for 3 days.
It's only open 2 days.
3. I got 3.
Didn't open 3 days.
Yeah, that's
No,
what we
it's
just do open
4,
3 days.
5.
I gotta talk
Like I know it's ingrained in my brain to work 5 days, but literally, like I'm on my 5th year, and I'm like, fuck, eventually I'm not gonna work 5 days a week. Right now, I don't have anything else to do.
So that's propane there, right? We're talking about there. That's something else we got to talk about.
Bistro, I don't know what
We got to talk. Yeah, we got to
more
talk
likely it's propane.
because we need to talk prices and shit like that.
Yeah, you
So
need
we
to talk to Amy
specific-
on that,
We
so
need
I-
to know. No, that's not what I need to talk about Amy about. I need to talk to Amy about what she has there, like what's in there. Like what's in the pantry. Shit like that. Do you need fry oil? Shit like that. That's what I need to see what she has. Is it propane? Do we need to take the propane tank and go get it filled? These things.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you what's in the kitchen, but you're better off just going down and looking.
No, that's what I'm going to do.
In my opinion, and it's just my thing, I wouldn't mess with fryers, especially when you don't have some place to dump it. And sometimes these guys are like, "Well, we'll just throw it here." Well, okay. Then it's I kind of feel halfway responsible if I'm not taking care of the oil, and
if anything,
sure as hell not making soap with it.
No, if anything, we can just I'll let it cool down, and then just put it right back in the 5-gallon tub that it was in, and put the cap on it and throw it in the recycle bin.
You can do that?
Yeah, you can take it down. You can. I usually go to the restaurants and put that 5-gallon jug in the back where the grease trap is. And leave it where the grease trap is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And just leave it somewhere where
There's got to be a facility in Vegas.
Leave it somewhere.
But my point is, you really want to hassle with that? That's up to you. I don't. I love the fact I don't have a fryer in my life.
No, that's cool. That's one of those things that rock on.
Yeah, I love the fact I have not cooked on a fryer since I moved out there.
I know.
Well, I take that back because my part-time job I had in California has a fryer. So, but I worked the grill station. I didn't really fry.
Where? What was it? Was it at
Noodle House in the California hotel? Which that's my next guess.
You said
is
in
Peter.
California. You said in California.
In the California hotel. Yeah. It's such a weird hotel because it's all Hawaiians go there.
Oh, it's the 9th Island.
Yeah. Well,
The 10th
that's our,
island to-
at the California we say aloha. That doesn't make fucking sense.
Well, if you walk in there, everybody's in flip flops and shorts.
Everybody's Hawaiian.
Yep. Everybody, hey, brother. You
Yeah, hey, brother. Yeah.
There you go.
And that's it. And it's funny because like the 2000
Oxtail soup is still good.
What's that?
Oxtail soup is still good. They're still doing that after midnight.
I don't know what's going on in Vegas now with all the restaurants. I know the Noodle House is no more. That whole place is closed.
I told you, man. It's funny, and
we literally went back in time. I'd say to the early '80s. As far as hotels go and food quality and
it's
just shit right now.
Everything's shit right now, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you go to get food. If it's takeout, you take it home. It's shit that they just threw in the box.
I know.
And what are you going to do? Call them up and complain?
Yeah,
you know
go
what they're
back
gonna
down
say?
there.
You know what they're going to say? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know.
You want to come down and get some more?
Yeah.
And they're going to slop some more shit in the box and give it to you again.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't really matter, man. It's one of those. It sucks, but it is what it is. At this point in time, what can we do? Like I said, you asked what my future is. My future right now is staying afloat, bro.
That's what my future looks like.
Staying afloat. Dude, could you imagine if you owned a McDonald's? Shoot. You're making money, bro.
I don't think I could ever bring myself to own one. I would just sell it.
Whatever.
Buy something else. I'd buy a real restaurant.
What, Red Robin?
No.
Ooh, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Steaks and beer.
What a concept! Imagine that.
Right?
Steaks and beers.
Steaks and beer.
But, yeah.
Hey, do you want to? I did a trivia question. A few trivia questions. You want me to test your knowledge?
I don't know if, sure.
Let me see here. Let me see.
I have no college education, but
Well, me either. So
as long as it's about food and not people.
Oh no, God no, it's not about food. You know all the answers to that question.
Man, you fucking
Why would I ask you food questions?
You suck.
That's silly.
You suck.
Okay, so you know how Mick Jagger kind of invented his own dance, right?
Okay.
Okay. Has Mick Jagger ever won a dance competition in his life?
So, how high were you sitting around thinking about this shit?
Oh, it was pretty high.
You must have been.
Oh, yeah.
I got a book at home for you.
There's more. All right, so
yes. I'm going to say yes.
That's actually no.
Oh, okay.
He's a horrible dancer. But he did invent his own dance, which I thought was kind of weird. Hey, do great white sharks sleep?
No.
They do, actually. They just found this out.
They sit on the bottom and sleep?
No, they can't. They have to constantly keep moving. So
because they have to have water flowing through their gills.
So they what they did was they had this like little submersible follow a shark, and they go to like these depths, and they just start this like downward thing, and their eyes roll in the back of the head, and they pretty sure that's their sleep-like state. So anyway, that's right.
So they wait. So that's argumentative then. You can't really say they. I know you got experts out there saying, yeah, their heads roll back. It could be because of the pressure.
It's my trivia question, so I can say.
Well, right? Yeah, but you asking me a question, I can say that.
I was just telling you you're wrong. That's all.
Right on. As long as we got that clear. Fuck. Okay.
Just in case. Okay.
Next.
Is the Earth flat?
Is your forehead flat? What?
I don't think so. Is the Earth flat?
And every 16 miles it turns, doesn't it? So no, it's flat in certain spots, but it's not flat like
people with lasers are bouncing lasers 25 miles and saying it's not curving down. So
eventually it does curve because it's a round planet. Right. So eventually it will. There is a horizon eventually, correct? So I don't think the world is completely flat. No.
So what's your answer?
That's a no.
I can only accept a hell no.
That's a no.
All right. I'll give you that one. Can you milk an almond?
Can you milk
an almond?
Can you milk an almond?
That's a food question.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself because it's not milk. So you can't milk shit if it's not a cow or it doesn't have udders.
I'm pretty sure it's yes.
I'm pretty sure it's a no.
I'm pretty sure it's yes.
I'm pretty sure there's no milk in an almond.
What if you use your fingers?
I'm almost positive there's no milk in it. Show me some udders.
Moving on.
Show me some udders.
Moving on, Joe.
Show me some teats on that almond.
I got a true or false question.
Oh, okay? Shit. Thanks. I got 50-50 so far.
Israeli people are Asian?
No.
You're wrong. It's true. They're not African. They're not European. They have to be Asian.
They're not Asian.
Israel's in Asia. They're Asian.
Israel is not in Asia.
Israel is in Asia. What continent is it in if it's not in Asia? It's not in Africa.
So the Middle East is Asian then too.
The Middle East.
It's on the continent where the Middle East is.
Correct.
So the Middle East is Asia then too.
Yeah, they're all Asian.
That's the European continent. And I want to say if you go a little like India, I think that's where.
I'm afraid you're completely wrong, Joe.
I'm going to have to look into this.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. You can check out these.
But if that's the case, then Arabs are Asian as well.
The next question we've already answered, so I'm going to skip that one.
No. I get one fucking right.
What?
So what is the question?
All right, name the only liquid on the planet that expands when you freeze and shrink. We already went over that, all right?
Okay, water.
Can a mask stop viruses?
Can a mask? Who are you going to ask?
I'm asking you.
If you're asking me, it's all up to the individual, how he feels safe. If he feels safe when wearing a mask, then wear a mask. So, if you don't feel safe wearing a mask,
that's not saying it stops viruses.
Like I said, you talk.
I'm going to say 100%.
You talk.
It does not stop viruses.
But see,
but it does 100% virtue signal.
So check this out. Neither one of us got a doctorate in anything. Any fucking thing. So all we can say is what our opinion is.
Yeah, but
you're getting your opinion from doctors and stuff like that. But like I said, I can find a doctor that tells you if you don't wear a mask, then everybody's going to the world's going to come to an end and you're going to spread it and all of this shit.
I do believe that's a communist doctor.
Well, and then you turn around. We're not talking about demon rats right now. But hey, like what I'm saying is that you can get people to argue the pros and the cons to it, because you can get a person that'll say yes, you do need a mask, and then you can get the same on the same question, ask somebody, and they'll say no, you don't. No, it's just.
Well, I kind of like the underwear and fart analogy.
Well, they took
an underwear will stop 10% of your fart. Doesn't mean you're not going to smell the shit.
Well, what in life is 100% anyway, other than death and taxes? Nothing. Everything's a percentage. Everything is a percentage of 100 anyway. So nothing's actually. Look at these vaccines. They're what, 94%, 96%? The polio vaccine, come to find out, was 94 fucking percent as well. That's how these doctors were driving.
The new polio or the old polio? There's two.
But all I'm saying is that that's where they were getting their information on whether what they were comparing it to the polio vaccination because it was like 95 or 94%, just like this one is. But either way, you can. That's a loaded question. That's
if anybody's taking our medical opinion seriously, they need to be committed anyway. So
you ready?
It's just like
You ready? That question is like asking. Is like when your significant other asks you whether or not you look fat in these pants.
I'm pretty sure it's no. It's no. But it can virtue signal for sure.
It's on you. But that's a matter of opinion.
Congratulations on your virtue signaling. Okay, last question. All right.
I got one more question. Okay.
Yeah. Do all moons spin in the same direction?
That's a no.
Ooh, it's correct.
That's a negative.
There's only one moon that spins in the opposite direction, but not all moons spin.
No, that's what I was about. That's exactly that too. Yeah. Exactly. That's why you get like our moon, where you have the dark side of the moon. It doesn't spin. It
does not spin. Yeah.
Nope.
There's quite a few moons that actually don't have an axis and don't spin. But there's one moon on Uranus that spins in the opposite direction.
Yes,
Uranus is like in a weird.
But see those are the places that everybody looks for life at because they have an atmosphere. They're spinning. They got you know what I'm saying. There's something that's holding. There's gravity of some sort there.
Right. Yeah.
There's something there that's keeping shit.
You have to have that spin in order to hold the
that. And there's one thing that separates us all from everybody else, and it's called the oh my god, what is that? Atmosphere. There's that one layer of atmosphere, and I forgot the name. The ozone. Because if we didn't have that ozone, then we'd be getting killed by these gamma rays that are coming from the sun. For one.
Well,
there's that.
We got a nice chunk taken out of the ozone. So,
but that's what makes us that's what makes this planet inhabitable is that ozone layer. You take away that ozone layer, this is a different planet.
Yeah.
It's that small thin layer that keeps this planet the way it is.
Like, and that's not that I know anything about this either, but I don't know why we're going to Mars. Like it's not that it's any of my.
They found water inside of Mars. There's water inside of Mars.
So what? There's no atmosphere. There's no protection.
I don't know. They saw Total Recall, and they saw the end of Total Recall. All they got to do is put their hand.
They saw the three boobs, and they think there's women with 3 boobs there. I swear to God.
She got her ass blown away, so it doesn't matter, dude. She got that third boob blown away. She got that third boob blown out of her chest.
Yeah, but the potential of having a girl with 3 boobs there again.
Dude, you know what? You barely know what to do with 2 boobs. Why would you want a third? That only complicates things.
Nah.
But
that was worth watching the movie again just to see the 3 boobs.
Did they have that in the remake?
They did.
Did they have that in the remake?
They better have put that in the remake.
That's what everybody was waiting for. Yeah. They were fast forwarding that shit. Is it in there? Is it in there? I ain't watching it if it's not. That's hilarious. Oh, fuck. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Ramble on. We didn't even bother talking about food to table shit. How oxymoron it is. But, hey, yo.
Go talk about it.
Just just remember, you're only good as your last dish, man. A lot of people forget that. You're only as good as your last dish.
Yep.
I got one for you, and I don't know what are we gonna do after this, but John Louis story again was who Jose Andreas, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it was at the Cosmopolitan. I was opening up Whole Students, and it was the night that they gave us rooms. They finally had rooms open, and so they were giving us rooms. We were there pretty much putting everything together. Big bosses left. It was me.
How many hours were you putting in a week?
Nothing like when we worked at Napa.
No?
Nah, but when you open up a restaurant like that, then you're working 12-hour days. That's why they gave us a room there, so you were working 12-hour days.
And you were on salary.
Yeah. We were sitting in there. We finally got all the beer taps hooked up. If you ever been in there, they had a bunch of beer taps, and we finally got the beer taps hooked up. We got enough food in there. There's food in the kitchen and everything like that. And Jose Andreas had a place next door to us. It was called China Poblano, and it was Mexican street food. Okay, and a lot of people don't understand is a lot of Chinese influence came up through Mexico, and came up through. I lost the mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, cool. And so he opened up that he had a place over there called he had his own fine dining place over there, but he had this little China Poblano which was right next door to us. He came walking with his GM while we were sitting out there. We just got finished eating. We're talking shit, and we're in the back kitchen, and I come out. And Jose Andres is walking in because he sees we had beer going. So he's coming in with him and his GM. This is granted. This is at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
This is SCK. This is at Cosmo, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was his name of his restaurant?
Jose Andres' place.
Yeah. Was it Poblano?
Jaleo.
That's right. Okay.
Okay, and that was his fine dining. And then he did like I said, the little place that was called China Poblano, which was just street food. Okay, and so like
was that on the second floor?
Holstein's, where it was at the top of the chandelier bar, where the buffet you'd walk in to go towards the buffet and everything like that. It was there. If that makes it was that level.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's 2. Because SCK was on 3.
No, they're on the same level.
Well, his Jaleo is.
Okay, I think we were down
the buffet,
one.
Yeah, Holstein and Buffet was second.
And so their little restaurant. So he comes walking past us, and we're in the back. Me and these other 2 sous chefs, like this, like the pastry chef, this other guy, and me. We're fucking around, getting everything. We got rooms there, so we're gonna go upstairs and crash later. And like I come walking out, and I see Jose Andres at the bar talking to our manager and the bar manager, and I go in the back and I say, "Hey, dude, Jose Andres is sitting at the fucking bar." Okay. He goes, okay. And they go, yeah, whatever. And they walk out of the restaurant and they see him sitting there. And I'm all like, now let's go in the back and make him some fucking pate. Because we had a house pate that we were making, okay? And so we made him a pate. It's the bomb. So we had all our condiments with it, all our pickled veg. We put it all up there. We did our whole shabil for him. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. And he sat up there and he was fucking inhaling it while he's telling us his war stories about John Louis. These guys are cell shocked sitting next to him, like, and I'm sitting. It's Jose Andres, his GM, me, the 2 other sous that are fucking like gapping at him, like, and he puts his pants on just like I do. So I'm not shell shocked. I'm like, so we're talking.
I got over that in Napa because everybody would stop there to kiss his ass, and he was like our chef.
Duh.
It was like craziness. It was like whoa.
So, like, we're sitting there and we're telling war stories. I told him I opened up Napa with him. That's where he came out of, was D.C.
Oh, okay.
Jose Andres came out of D.C.
Okay.
Okay? And so, like, when he opened up his restaurant in D.C., I can't remember the chef that he worked for in Spain. It was one of the best chefs. I want to say, I don't think it was El Boulet. It was one of those.
Ferreira? Andrea Ferreira?
It was a guy he was one of the number 1 chefs in Europe at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, that he worked for.
Andres Ferreira, right?
I'm not sure.
I think so. I'm probably saying the name wrong. But
that's what I'm saying. We're butchering it. But yeah. so like when he had his restaurant there in D.C., he's telling us this story as he's inhaling the food, and like he goes, my first encounter with John Louis was he came into my restaurant, and the maitre d' came back and said, John Louis here. He got all like, oh. So he got all straightened up and cleaned up and everything and walked out there, and John Louis out there. Can't remember who he said he was with, but he was
some young hot girl.
A woman. And like he was, John Louis started throwing out his accolades. Jose Andres' accolades.
What are accolades?
His accomplishments, his achievements, where he's worked, what he's done.
John Louis?
John Louis was calling out Jose Andres' accolades, telling him, oh, you've been here, you've done this, you've done that, look at you, you've done this, you've done that. And Jose Andres said, yeah, man, my chest started pumping up and everything like that. And he goes, yeah, I did. And he goes, yeah, and John Louis goes, yeah. And he picked up the amuse dish, the dish that had the amuse on it, and threw it at him. And he said, yeah, go back there and make me something I can eat now. Wow. That was his introduction to John Louis.
That guy's got some balls.
That was his introduction to John Louis.
Awesome.
Right there. He said, good, now go back there and make me something I can eat.
That's why we love him.
Is that not John Louis or what? And I go, oh my God. I go, yeah, that's John Louis. Everybody was like, ooh. And I looked at him and I went, yeah, that's about right.
I remember when he used to talk about food, we'd be sitting there waiting for some meeting or some guy could come down and say some bullshit to us. And he would just talk about it. I remember this one time it was like, he was like this chef that came in and they said, "Oh, I was inspired by this dish," so they sent it out, and all it was soup with the foie gras and the sweet bread, and it's just soup. It's just soup. I don't get it. I was like, "Fuck."
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I learned so much from that guy. Shit.
Simplicity.
So much.
Simplicity is key to any dish, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to put 18, 19 different ingredients on a plate in order to get what you want out of it. You know, and that's what I loved about Chef, man. He was just, you know, he was spot on with what his flavors were and how he did it. I don't know who was making him vinegars, man, but I always remember when like you'd go to him with a sauce or whatever, and then he'd reach up, and these vinegars were made in like Pepsi bottles, like
Michelle's.
Okay, and stuff like this.
I'm gonna interview her too. She's amazing.
But like how he'd say, "Here you go, put an ounce of this in there, put a splash of this in there," and you'd go over and put a splash of this different one that he made that was up there.
He always had Armagnac. He always had some cognac on his station.
Man, it's something, and you know, and just it was amazing. A pack of cigarettes a day, and his taste buds were just like phenomenal.
Well, the idea that cigarettes took away your taste buds was pretty much blown out of the water.
Well, it was.
I mean, yeah, he died at 52. I'm not saying it's the best for you, but to say it takes away your taste buds is absolutely fucking wrong.
Well, it takes away your salt. It doesn't take.
You
It just
can
takes.
get accustomed to any flavor you put in your mouth on a daily. That's why, you know. Otherwise, you know what would take away our taste buds?
Rephrase what you say about putting it in your mouth all the time. Okay.
Right.
But anyway. Anyway.
No, but honestly, like the fact that we put mint in our mouth all the time. A, it's like never come up with something with mint in it,
Right.
Because I'm constantly putting it in my mouth every day. And B, it's not ruining my taste buds, and that's a stronger flavor than tobacco.
But the nicotine kills. It's different chemicals. This is the man-made chemicals that fuck you up, bro. It's not everything else. It's man-made chemicals that fuck you up.
I don't know.
All I know is
the guy smoked 2 packs of cigarettes and nailed a 62 Bordeaux. Nailed it. Not even a year off. He nailed the fucker.
You know, he made me laugh, man, when everything was. I can't. Well, he's dead. Fuck it. Yeah. God rest your soul, sir. But like,
we can talk shit now.
But like when he take the hook from the wood burning oven, you know, and then reach over there and grab the cart. With the fucking with all the ports and all 100-year-old ports and fucking Madeiras on it, and pull it so that he could get it. And then the reason why he would do it so that he could push it back. He wouldn't just leave it there. He would push it back so it didn't look like he was doing anything.
Then they had to start marking the bottles.
Oh, actually, they started putting stuff in front of it. They would put it over in the corner, and they would put 2 or 3 chairs in front of it.
They used to play.
Dude, they had that. What was that? Wasn't Hennessy? They had some cognac there that was that Marnell had bought. That was like $3.75 an ounce. It was the middle of that cart. It was in its own crystal bottle. It was tall and everything like that, but it was like $3.75 a shot. I think it was an ounce. It was one, you know, where you take the brandy sniffer and you pour it in there when it's laying on its side, and whatever it does, it doesn't pour out. You know what I'm saying? They pour it to that point to where,
and that's your
drink. $375. Yeah, and there was only so many bottles that were left, and he bought like 2 or 3 of them. Man, he had
Marnell has great taste.
He was a man among. He's a cool guy. He's actually granted, he got money, but he doesn't forget where he comes from. It seems like he remembers the little man that helped him out.
Hey, did I ever tell you the one time I met him? It was no,
not really, no.
I just got hired. Gabrielle got me into the Mama Maria's place, right? And it was while they were still finishing up the tower at the Rio.
Okay.
So I'm standing there like out in front of the restaurant, you know, and I'm just kind of looking up at they had the show in the sky and everything. He walks up to me and says, "Hey, what do you think?" I'm like, "Man, this is pretty cool. What is this, a show?" And he's like explained the whole thing to me and everything. I'm telling him right now. Walked up to some, like, I'm just a cook, you know. Like 18, 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, but see, it's the layman that has the best opinion, and that's what he always looked at, and he was one of the guys that he was the one that said.
Well, I didn't know who he was, so I would have told him like God's honest truth if I thought it sucked. Honestly, I had no idea who the guy was.
You know, being with John Louis, it's kind of curved me off of trying to be nice to people that that you think you should be nice to just because. You know, he wanted an opinion. He asked you your opinion. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that guy couldn't be more. I met him a couple different times because we used to do James Beard dinners, and they would always be in the back, and they'd come up. And Mrs. Marnell was a cool lady as well. They were talkable, they were approachable. He always had a cigar, whether it was lit or not. You know what I'm saying? Afterwards and shit like that. He was humble, and he was appreciative of his the people that worked for him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Granted, you were the help. But yeah,
so was John Louis.
But you felt, yeah. Oh, John Louis just
once you learned, he was a dick until you learned how to cook his food, and then he treated you like gold.
You know, if he didn't like you, he didn't yell at you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know, he would not.
Treatment,
oh, remember Randy?
On the way out the door.
Remember Randy, Z guy? Was he Z guy or was that Dead Man Walking? No, Dead Man Walking was Marco. Yeah, he was Z guy.
Marco ended up doing pretty well in New York.
We'll talk about him later.
Oh boy, I don't want to talk about him then.
Yeah, we'll talk about him. Right. He's good. He's doing okay. He's back on his feet again. He had a place out there. I think he was in Brooklyn, and he had one of the best catering companies in town at one time.
Yeah.
Carver's or something like this. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can talk about that one later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, definitely. But I hear you got his head back and swiveled back on straight.
Good.
But you gotta love John Louis, man.
Yeah.
Gotta love John Louis, man. Smoking Joe.
I miss him. I would go back to work with him just to work with him again.
I don't think anybody, if he was there, I don't think hindsight 50-50, I would have never left until he kicked me out of there.
I was planning on coming back. And then he found out how sick he was.
Yeah, I would have went to New York with him. I already said I'd go to New York with him.
Yeah.
I would have went to New York with him in a heartbeat. You know,
it just so happens that I was in D.C. opening a restaurant. Remember when you flew in, and then we went to the memorial.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really sad.
That was a man that was among men. He was a man amongst men.
Did you see that thing Virgil just did like a year ago or 2 years ago?
No.
She did this. It's on YouTube. She did because I every now and again I'll just YouTube his name and see what pops up, and she did some dinner for him in honor. All the big names were there,
John George, Daniel Boulou, all them cats.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Danielle was there. I don't know. I don't remember. But I just, they were literally heavy hitters, but I thought that was really cool what she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're still honoring. How long has it been? 10, 15?
It's sad when you come up to people and they don't even know who he is.
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, it's a long time ago. I'm
talking people our age, bro. I'm talking about youngsters, man. I'm not talking about the youngsters nowadays.
What's sad, did I tell you that one time I ran into somebody who was telling me he worked at Napa?
I don't think he did. Remember, it was...
Of course he didn't.
No, at Ortonique. Remember at Ortonique, the guy, the pastry guy that was over there? He said he worked with Sam and everybody at Napa.
I don't remember.
It was at Ortonique when I came over and helped you. When I was working at the Bellagio and I came over and helped you. The pastry chef said he worked with chef over at Napa and everything. The pastry cook over there, tall, skinny, white head, dark hair. He was lying through his teeth. He didn't work over there.
I don't think he did either.
He didn't work with Napa.
No, but I ran into this guy at the bar, and he was just talking shit how he worked for Jean-Louis Paladin, and I was like, oh, really? I don't,
Where'd you work at?
Yeah, I said, what station did you work? The grill station. Really? Funny.
With John Louis there.
With Jean Louis, and I started, drilling him about it because there's no fucking. There was a grill station, but we got rid of that and put in a four-top.
He didn't even use that for the grill station. That wasn't even the grill station. The grill station was the oven.
I know.
He took the grades off of that, and then took the big cast iron ovals that we had,
right.
and would put it full of coals, and then put the grades on that.
I knew
and
he
cook
wasn't
on that.
there before I got there. And if he was there after I got there, I knew that thing was changed. So after I got talking to him, that he worked in the same building when Michael Jordan took it over after Jean-Louis died.
And made it a tribute to John Louis.
Right, and that's what, and he says that he worked for Jean Louis. I said, you're not working for Jean Louis if you're working for Michael Jordan. You work for Michael Jordan's not a bad chef. I don't want to talk down to him.
No, not at all.
But to say that you worked for that guy, you didn't.
No, and to me, between you and me, how do you do a tribute to somebody that you never worked with?
That's true.
How do you know what he is? How do you know his style if you didn't work for him?
That's true.
Because he'd tell you what brunoise, he'd tell you brunoise vegetable. Do you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't think it was brunoise. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Remember we had to sit there.
Or make a ragu for his vegetables. Like nobody does that shit.
Do you know what I mean?
I've never seen anybody do that.
and these sort of things that you had to learn from him.
Yeah, it was really cool technique that he had, a very specific way of doing things, and it took about 6 months, but I could actually look at a menu, which I don't know if anybody knows this. We would change our menu every 3 months, and I'm like, I've never seen that anywhere.
Did you ever notice how he used the same ingredients? They just went from station to station, from season to season?
Yes. He had, because that was his,
There was always saffron on the menu.
Yeah, he pretty much, I think, was responsible for bringing foie gras to America, wild mushrooms to America. Probably like duck prosciutto, that kind of charcuterie to
If you stop and think about it, all of that stuff that we look at and call artisanal nowadays, or whatever words or whatever labels you want to put on things, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have had these specialty farms. Him going out and doing these things. He actually said it. I don't know if it was Silas he said it to or whatever, but when he came to this country, he even said it. You've got better products here than we do in Europe. You got better things here than we do in Europe.
You just have horrible commercial farming practices.
Well, nobody knew what to do. Nobody knew what to do. Nobody knew you could do these specialty farms. You could do this. You could do that. You could raise pigs. You would come and buy my pigs? You promise you'll buy my pigs. Okay? Okay, cool. And that's what he set forth in this country. Of all these places like they do in Europe. All these little farms that are making for these restaurants. Or better yet, this restaurant that has a farm.
Yeah. That's what it's really coming down to, is like your best restaurants are going to have their own farms.
They have to, because something sustainable.
You can't it's not only that. You can't make great food buying food from commercial farming. You can only make good food.
No, because
it takes Mother Nature to make it great.
Well, yes, and you need to let Mother Nature make it great.
Right.
Don't try to manipulate shit.
It doesn't matter what your technique is. If your food if the raw ingredients aren't the best, it will not be the best.
No. Like you said, it'll be good to moderate.
How much you jerk off all over the food, it does not matter.
No, you're correct. And it's one of those things that everybody thinks that they can do.
Yeah.
And then when they get into the kitchen, they go, salt and pepper? What is salt and pepper for?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. You catch these things and jump in there. Come on, jump in there. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I love customers, coming with these great ideas, and I always tell them, why don't you open a restaurant and do them?
Good luck.
That'd be great.
Good luck. Because like assholes in opinions, everybody's got one, right?
I know. But it's been quite an experience coming out to the dining room and talking to people, not just cooking in the back. It's been quite an experience, Joey.
Yeah. To look at to look at your demographic, your clientele, and kind of just go,
Yeah.
How do they say that? You want to be nice, but how do they say that down south? Bless your heart.
Bless your heart, yeah.
Is that how they say it?
Bless your heart.
Yeah, I think that's how they put it. Bless your heart. Okay. But yeah, life goes on, huh?
Yeah. Well, we're up to an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's funny because that's I think we're just starting to talk about old school and new school when it comes to the people in the kitchen, and stuff like that. But it is funny how history makes a circle and it comes back around.
Yeah. I'm really concerned about the direction our livelihood's going. I hope that there is something. I hope that we're not forced to basically become faceless while you serve people. Did you see, I was watching Jersey Shore, did you see what those fools are wearing?
I apologize, but no, I don't watch Jersey Shore. But anyway, go on.
Go on. You are a better person for that, trust me.
Trust me, I am too.
I was watching Jersey Shore, and and they went out to dinner, and they, obviously had their own table and this and that. And it wasn't in a restaurant; it was outside.
Are they in Vegas or are they in Jersey?
Vegas. They're in Vegas. They're in Lake Las Vegas. So the waiters come up to serve the food. They're in fucking hazmat suits. It is absolutely absurd.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I was going to use another term, but I don't want a certain part of people to get mad at me. But
say whatever you want.
No, I'm good.
I don't think you.
But that is pretty funny.
Yeah,
that is really funny, man.
Yeah. So it's you know what I found that was really weird, because I had a mask on when this whole thing started and I was cooking. My internal clock was off. I didn't realize how much I used my nose.
Well.
I couldn't tell us something I had to. Oh, okay, it's ready. I never realized how much I use my nose while I cook.
So you know most of your taste comes from your smell.
Yes.
So yes, didn't you know that's the old one where mom would always get you to try to eat something that you didn't like. She'd plug your nose.
Plug your nose, yeah.
Plug your nose so you couldn't smell it.
Yeah.
And what do they say when you take a shot?
Yeah.
Don't smell it before you take it.
Why would we force our cooks to cover their noses?
Well, unfortunately,
idiots are making decisions. They know nothing about our
it is what it is. It's we've got people that are that we elect that think that they're talking about things that are in our best interests, and I don't think anybody's ever said that this is in our best interests. This is what we want you to do in our best interests. I don't think anybody's ever said that before. What it is that. Here you go. You ready? And this is really the only political thing I'm really going to talk about. It's funny how we can come together to impeach fucking somebody fuckingly, but we can't come together to take care of the fucking people.
Right.
That's my biggest fucking problem.
Right, yeah,
you pieces of fucking shit out there that think that they're working for us and stroking us down, you fuck off. You show me one fucking politician that's not a fucking millionaire and speaks for the common fucking person.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
And I'll show you a liar right off the bat. But it is funny how they can impeach somebody in 49 fucking seconds, but they can't turn around and give us money to survive. $600? You show me in this country where $600 pays the fucking rent.
You realize that if you took the stimulus that we had and split it up with everybody employed in the United States, we would each get about $6,500. Now, explain to me why that wouldn't be better for our economy and our country.
I like how they say how $600 is going to stimulate the economy. Are you fucking high?
Yeah, I know.
Are you high? Maybe that's your problem is you're not.
You know what's funny is that someone pointed out it's like all the TVs, flat screen TVs at Walmart just dropped to $555.
Dude, everything in there's cheap.
Well, no, right under 600 to get you to spend the 600.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a scam.
Yep, it is a scam.
Government is the big culprit of it. Both sides of the park. It doesn't matter who you are. It's both sides. Both sides are in it together. It's like it's just like a.
I keep trying to remind people that stop pretending like there's a good side. There's not.
Oh my God!
We don't have a good side.
You know.
We don't.
When we elect people that abuse.
Do we elect people? I don't think we
elect people that abuse their spouses.
I don't think we're the ones electing anybody anymore.
It's funny how everybody wants to.
Do you think the election was rigged?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait.
If
you stop, you don't make it rigged. Was that? Did you see all the laws that they changed before? The votes came out, all the stuff that you don't have to do a ballot check on ID.
Right.
When you did your vote, did they check your ID when you went up there?
Yes.
They did? They didn't check mine.
Well, I was already because I'm in Tacoma, I was already on the mailing list. Like we already did mailing ballot, which was a requirement at the time. That I think this was 2 years ago. I had to go to the post office. I had to show them my ID.
Yep.
Fill out the form, and then I got a mail-in ballot.
Imagine that. That's what it was supposed to be like. Imagine that. So, Democrats have the poorest turnout. How do you get the lazy people to turn out? Let it mail them to their house. Let that fucker.
If they were legit people, I don't even think they were legit people. I think they fucking trucked in these.
My uncle, God rest his soul, got a ballot.
He died.
Yes, he died COVID.
Yeah. Why don't we update the registry, the voter registry?
All of that stuff is where it that's the problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are complaining that their vote went Democrat and they didn't even vote.
Here goes one for you. No, that was that was a ploy. They were fucking with us. Don't worry about that. Mom got the same thing. But here's one for you. What about the 75 million people that voted for Trump?
Oh yeah.
Where are they at now? Now they're pushed to the side. Now we're looked at as leopards. Now we're looked at. Now that's half of the country. That's half of this country that you're going to say, fuck you.
Here's a fact, Joey. Here's a fact. Trump got more votes than any sitting president in the history of the United States.
And he lost.
And we're supposed to believe that some dickhead who cannot fill an arena And I swear to God, that asshole couldn't draw a crowd maybe if you paid him. You could pay a bunch of idiots to go. He beat him. He beat Obama. He got more votes. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And these morons, oh my God. Like, there's some people I can't talk to anymore about politics because if you're going to tell me that there was no voter, you are a fucking moron. And I cannot take you seriously.
I laugh at these. These are the same people that think it's okay for certain organizations to tear down places like Portland, Seattle, and tear and burn these places to the fucking ground, but then turn around and when this happens up on the White House, then it happens to a certain group of people. Now it's, oh my God!
Now it's domestic terrorism.
Now they got privilege. Yeah. Now we need to impeach this guy because
there's some black lady and cop letting people through the barricade.
You know, between you and me, that right there was just a show of big business showing them, hey man, just let these people come in because now these people will show. See now.
Yeah,
I get people on there. Look, I have people that friends that actually post shit like, could you imagine what would have happened if they were all immigrants that did this? If they were all minorities that would have stormed it? Do you know how many people would have got shot and killed? But then you turn around, and you think about it. You ready?
What do you think just happened?
You ready?
6 months ago.
White people, Caucasian people are 3 times more risk. A cop is at 3 times more risk of shooting a white person than a black person because they stop and think about it more if it's a minority than a white person. The statistics are so fucking weird that cops are more out to shoot a white person than they are a black person. Dude, they got numbers that throw out there. It's because, of course, people will say, it's because there's more white people than there are black people. Of course, they're going to be this and that and this and that. Well, what's that common denominator? Bring it all down to the same fucking number, and you'll see it's pretty much the same thing.
You know what I always tell people? I said, not every American citizen was happy with the Boston Tea Party. Are you sure you're on the right side?
all I'm saying is, half the people went one way and the other half people went the other way. And now the half the people that went the other way that didn't get the vote are going to be shunned upon and they're going to look and be ostracized.
They're already businesses are already telling you, dude, it's like 1930s Germany.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you're a Trump supporter, you're a Jew now.
No, it's not. It's called and it's that Red Scare coming back again, and nobody's looking at it. Back there, the McCarthyism, that shit, and a lot of people
taking over. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that one. They tried to infiltrate back then. Now they're doing it more successful.
Well, it's funny how the Democrats were the ones that were the slave owners, and now here they are enslaving us again.
Here's the funny part is it used to be the Democrats that used to fight for the working person. Right. Do you know a guy named Andrew Jackson?
Yes.
Okay, if it wasn't for him, civil rights would have had nothing to stand on. He back then he fought for rights for the workers.
Yeah.
Granted, they were all white back then. Do you know what I'm saying? But the blue-collared workers, those were the people that he fought for.
He fought for poor people regardless of the color.
Period. That was the word. That's the word I'm looking for. He fought for the poor people.
Yeah.
When they put his face on a donkey, do you know what he said? Cool. That's the hardest working animal on the farm.
And that became the Democratic symbol.
But see, they used to be for the people. But it slowly but surely changed.
Right.
When was the last time one of them cats did anything for any minority?
Nothing.
Other than give them a phone and drop the mic out.
You mean like when Obama, basically made it illegal for you not to have insurance? So that's called racketeering, actually, forcing people to pay insurance and then penalizing us by I literally paid $2,100 in 3 years because I tried to sign up for the Obamacare, could not. I didn't really understand it.
It's kind of like Medicaid. You have to qualify for it. I didn't even qualify. Me being on unemployment for the last,
it means you don't qualify?
I didn't qualify for it.
Unbelievable.
Maybe it was because of the two. Actually, they told me the 2.5 months that I worked at my regular job put me over the edge, I thought. But then when I worked it out and everything like that with the unemployment that I was getting, I asked the lady. She goes, no, that was still too much. Yeah, so you go figure.
Yeah,
you go figure.
But at the same time, I don't even get mad at that because I don't want a handout from the fucking government. All I want the government to do is get the hell out of my way. I can make my own money.
Well, that's what Reagan said way back in the day. It's too much federal government. There needs to be less federal government, and that's all. If you look at it, that's.
Did you hear what Biden's trying to pass right now? They're trying to federalize dispensaries.
And make them state. They want to federalize it.
Federal. So that means that all that tax money that used to go to our local schools
goes to a slush fund,
going to the federal government right across seas to what? Some transgender fucking program in Pakistan?
Yep.
Give me a fucking break.
That only cost $400 billion.
I thought that was 28 billion or 28 million or something like that.
There was one that was 400 million. That made me laugh.
Oh God, it's ridiculous.
It goes back to the same
disgusting.
thing that we said. Take care of your own backyard, man.
I think Thomas Jefferson said it right. You know, every 200 years we need to take over the government.
If you think about it, and a lot of people didn't and realize it, that's what these last 4 years were. Our revolution. We elected somebody that's not a politician.
Right.
We elected a businessman.
You know what the sad part is? Because after the Gore-Bush election, that was kind of like really turned me off because I'm sorry, Gore got robbed, and it was publicly known years later that they rigged the counting machines.
Oh, imagine that.
Right?
It was a Bush that was in charge of the state. That Bush won.
Bush, who was the governor,
that won that
swung Florida into favor and ended up winning. For Bush, and Gore should have been president. And then when I'll tell you, like. Obama was Obama. Obama in the beginning, I really liked him with his speeches and his promises. And if he actually came through with them, I thought, wow, what a great person. But seeing as how he didn't do anything but fuck us over for 8 years, I don't really like the guy. Other than I thought he was very charismatic. And then we finally get this Trump. I never even wanted in, and he won. And the one thing I liked about it was like, wow, I think these elections were like legit because I mean.
Well, it just went to go to show how divided this country's always been since that election.
Yeah.
If you look at since that election, the country's been divided in half.
Yeah.
It's not it's this or that. It's not like this or that. You're talking it's just one side of the fucking other is how split this country is, and everybody still wants to identify politically and not identify as a fucking human being on this earth trying to get by.
Everybody asks me like, first of all, I'm a liberal, okay? California liberals is not a liberal because there's absolutely nothing in the history of man where we ever liberated anything without a gun. So liberals are for guns, and how could liberals possibly be for socialized medicine when they're liberals? That's communism.
Liberals were supposed to. Liberals aren't they? You take care of your own. I take care of my own. As long as I'm not fucking with yours and you're not fucking with mine.
It's less government. Cool. Government should be there to facilitate us to make our own money and to take care of ourselves, not to give us handouts.
To govern the states is what they're there to do, and help the states out with matters that they can't decide from state to state. Then they come in and be the mediator and do this.
That's what a lot of people would come up and we're down in Trump for not making it mask mandatory for the whole nation. I just look at him. Why would you want one person to make decisions for everybody? You don't even like the guy.
It makes me laugh as everybody sits there and says that he could have prevented people from dying. You to say something like that. You laugh at it and go, dude, how ignorant can you be?
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's ignorance that's out there. That's straight ignorance to say something like that. And like I said, it's funny how you can get a group of fucking people to just like that impeach fucking somebody, but you can't get them to agree on fucking a stimulus package that'll actually be beneficial to the citizens.
Right. Yeah, it's funny how they can impeach somebody in 5 days, but they can't give money to poor people who need it.
Have you ever seen a House representative or a senator that only makes $80,000 a year?
No.
Have you ever seen these motherfucking people?
Their tax returns say they do.
No, that's how much they say they've claimed. That's not how much they make. But But
they're wearing like $5,000 suits.
Do you see the hypocrisy of this?
Oh, totally.
Government was not meant to make millionaires, and if you go up there, that's all they are. Is every last one of them that are sitting in that fucking room.
Pelosi's $35,000 refrigerator.
You talk about this shit, and you look at these people, and they're millionaires. And not one of them represents the people.
Nope.
Not one of them you can say represents the people.
Nope.
Not even this one little lady, CR, whatever her name is, from New York, or Cruz lady that thinks she's all that in a bag of chips. This lady is. She thinks she's all that.
Idiot that doesn't know anything about anything.
But she's got an opinion on everything.
Oh, and then she's like gets mad because the older Democrats aren't showing her how to do her job. Like she was just on, like she was criticizing the Pelosi, which I love anybody who criticizes Pelosi, but I was like looking at her like, what? It's up to them to hand feed you your position? What the fuck is wrong with? I don't know, whatever.
You ready? You ready? That's that I want it now generation. That
entitlement.
That entitled.
God bless them.
She is entitled. She's entitled to it.
I'm so entitled.
Just like the guy that's entitled to the Chinese spy that he has sitting over in the corner, and he's still on the committee. Oh, and Nancy Pelosi saw nothing wrong with that. Oh, nothing wrong with that.
She's getting the same kickback.
We got a spy.
Yeah.
A Chinese spy manipulating a congressman or whatever, a senator. Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I thought we talked about this last time. Aren't we still in war with somebody? So that's treason, is it not?
Last I checked, it was treason.
That's treason when you're under wartime, isn't it?
Like I said, if I was in charge of the military, I would be arresting people for treason, personally. But that's just me. I'm just a cook,
All these guys are having these Jane Fonda moments. If you don't know, if you don't remember Jane Fonda when she sat down with Ho Chi Minh and had dinner with him while our soldiers were getting killed in Vietnam. Same fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's very hypocrite. People are being hypocrites about stuff. Everything was bad about what's been going on in 2000. It doesn't matter who was doing it. It was all fucking wrong. Right. But nobody wants to deal with that. Nobody wants to admit that it was all fucking wrong.
Right, yeah.
All of it. Not what they were doing and not what they were doing and not what we're doing. Everything is fucking wrong. Yes. What everybody's fucking trying to say they were doing this for that. No, it's all fucking wrong. Period. And until somebody they all come up and say, yeah, well, you're right. It was all fucking wrong. Yeah. All right. And everybody's included in this discussion. Now what do we do?
Yeah.
And actually come up. But I'll get off the subject and I'll go squirrel. You ready? That's why we need to bring back oh my God, music in school. That's why we need to bring in
theater.
In recess, theater. That's why we need to bring in all of these things. There's 7 different things that you need to stimulate a child's imagination and everything. And guess what? They're the ones that come up with the fucking solutions to the problems that we have nowadays.
Yeah.
Do you know, those are the people that come up with all this stuff and go, hey, wait a minute, let the air out of the tires and the truck will go right under the bridge. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the problem is nowadays is that
we're not investing in our future. We're trying to fix problems now, but we need to invest in schools. We need to invest in our economy so that we don't have the person, and that's what I thought about coming over here. The person that has the answer, you never know. The person that could have the answer, that could solve all our problems, might be doing heroin in a tent down by the river.
And you pull out a guitar, and he starts to play the guitar like a fucking... and then he comes up with this idea.
Yeah, but you know what? There's no economy, there's nothing, there's no opportunity to get this individual that could help society. And it's like...
Everybody
just keep oppressing.
Well, you know what's funny is
until things have to burn.
They keep throwing money at something that they think that fixes the problem.
Right.
You ready for this? Back there when George W. Bush was in presidency, his last 4 years in office, do you know what country spent more money on education per capita in the world?
Japan?
No. The United States did. The United States spent more money per capita on education than any other fucking country in the world. And we still can't get it right.
Wow.
Because everybody's afraid to hire people for the right reasons. Isn't that what you do at work as a chef? Don't you walk through and go, oh shit, you suck, but I seen you fucking clean shrimp like a...
But that's the thing.
Let's put you over there and you come over here, you clean lamb. Go clean the lamb.
But you know what? In a corporate, that has human resources, you can't just do that now.
No, because, you're not being fair to the guy that doesn't know how to do it.
Okay.
You're not being fair to the guy that fucks it up.
Right.
You're not being fair to the guy that doesn't deserve sprinkles. And you give him sprinkles anyway. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We don't all deserve trophies, dude. We don't all deserve trophies.
We do not. If you don't know how to lose, you'll never learn how to win.
No, you won't. Actually, it's not that you won't never know how to win. You won't know how to win gracefully.
Yeah.
That's the kicker. Yeah. Winning is the cherry on top. But if you can't win gracefully and you win like an idiot, what good is it?
Yeah.
Everybody forgets you. But if you can win if you can win with class, dude, that's the fucking bomb. Everybody remembers you. Everybody remembers
winning.
you. Everybody remembers. But fuck, Either way, rambling. We had more of a something to go off of, I guess we could really talk about some shit.
I could talk some more, but I gotta go pee so bad. I'm like ready to wrap it up just so I can go pee.
Rock on, wrap it up and go pee.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks for coming, Joe.
Appreciate it, man.
I'll definitely, I need to get, I'll talk to you afterwards, but hey,
All right.
that ends episode 2.
Peace out.